If you've looked into publishing as an author, you've probably heard that you need a platform. One piece of that platform is social media. So today I want to talk about how to approach social media as an author. First, I do want to remind you that this is just a piece of your platform, and it's not the most important one. The most important and effective part of your author platform is your email list. Social media is a way to get people there. What you should be looking for on social media is a way to build your presence so you can interact with your readers and fans, and a place to build connections with other authors and people in the industry. If you hang on until the end of this video, I will share with you a readership building checklist that will help you identify your ideal reader so you can better understand which social media platform you might want to be on. This is Ignited Ink Writing, a channel dedicated to helping authors like you transform your writing so it lingers with your readers, because writing that lingers gets remembered and recommended to others. I'm Caitlin Burvey, editor and writer. Let's start with how to pick your author's social media platform. You do not have to and should not be on every platform. That will very quickly become overwhelming and a full-time job all on its own. If you want to try out some platforms, that's totally fine to start with a lot and whittle down to a few. Just make sure you do actually whittle down. I took too long to whittle down on my social medias, so just don't do that. Most experts recommend authors be on two primary social media platforms. These are the two places their readers are most likely to be. You want to be on at least two, because if one platform suddenly changes its rules and all of your followers go away, you have that second platform to back you up for a little while. To figure out what platform you should be on, you're going to have to do a little bit of research. This is both to figure out what you like and hate, and where your readers are most likely to be. So you do need to understand who your ideal reader is to know where they're probably going to be. For example, if you write young adult fiction, the latest social media platform is a good place for you. TikTok, Instagram, something like that. If you write nonfiction, LinkedIn, very good place to be. If you write something like romance, Pinterest is actually surprisingly effective. Now, Pinterest and places like YouTube are technically not social media platforms. They're really more of a search engine, which in a way is kind of a good thing. Your content is going to live on those search engine style platforms longer. It's going to show up in Google and stuff like that when it's on there, in a way that your posts on a regular social media platform are not going to stick around. Think about you and what you like to create. If you make videos like me, somewhere that is good for videos is a good place for you to be. YouTube, TikTok, most social media platforms do allow video sharing. If you blog, you definitely want to be posting that on Pinterest. Second to Google, most of my blog's traffic comes from Pinterest, by far. So look at that. Then look at what you enjoy. What platform is intuitive to you? What platform do you just not get? For me, Twitter, I've never really gotten into Twitter, so that's not my platform. I have recently really enjoyed TikTok as an author. Facebook is a go-to for most people. If you don't know what platforms to pick, have one of them be Facebook and then pick something else for the others. I know Facebook isn't the friendliest place. We don't really like what we're hearing about them in the news, but they are effective for marketing and for authors. When you're choosing your platform, ask yourself, who is your ideal reader? Where are they the most likely to be? Pick that one. Then ask yourself, what type of content do you like creating? What platform do you enjoy using? Pick that one. And forget about the rest of them, at least for a little while. Again, you don't need to be everywhere as an author. Now that you know which platforms you may be using, let's talk about what to post as an author on social media. The key part of the name social media is social. You need to be posting something that's designed to create interaction. and you need to be interacting as well. That's the point of social media, is to interact. Also, when your post gets a lot of engagement, people are liking it, they're posting comments, they're creating replies to it, your social media platform is going to say, hey, this is a good post, and they're going to show it to more people. Just because someone follows you doesn't mean they see all of your content. So the more people who interact, the more of your followers will get to see it. When it comes to what types of posts garner the most interaction, video by far gets the most, then it's images, then it's posts that are just text. As an author, I know that's not what we want to hear because we're good with words, maybe not so much with video or pictures. That's okay, we can practice, we can learn. Your phone is all the equipment you need to film videos and take pictures for your author's social media. Think about your books and readers. Take pictures of you and your books. Take pretty pictures of your books. Readers love that. Some people follow social media platforms just for the book pictures. What you should post about is the same thing you should send in your author emails. A bit about you and a bit about your books and your writing. Social media is a good place for you to interact with other people, so you want to show a little bit of your personality, some of your interests, maybe your hobbies, and then you also want to share things about your books, where you are in the writing process, what's been inspiring you, an awesome review that you got recently, pictures of your books, that sort of a thing. However, you should not shout, "Buy my book," on any social media platform. That will get you blocked and kicked out of groups really quickly. People don't like that. Instead, share your pitch, the back cover blurb that goes on your book. Maybe talk about your favorite character. Maybe if there's a book that's doing really well that's similar to yours, say, "Oh my gosh, I loved this person's book, and I was so excited to see how it was like mine." Those sorts of things are going to not come across as salesy and inspire interaction. You can also ask questions, as long as they're not obviously leading questions. Ones that spark debate are always good. Silly pictures, writing prompts, things like that. Now, after you have posted your social media posts, remember that this is about interaction, so you need to respond to every comment you get, because it's going to boost your post in the algorithm. It also shows your readers that you are there, you're present, you're willing to interact with them. That makes them feel good. You don't have to write a novel to each person. A simple thank you, a smiley emoji, whatever is an appropriate response to that comment is all you need to do. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try out different types of posts, see which ones people seem to respond to more. For a while, I did synonyms. At first daily, then weekly, as a way to learn new interesting words and talk about my writing. I've backed off on that because it's not as effective as it used to be. Now I include more about my books and my personal life because that seems to be doing better. I don't get too personal though. Then, try out different times of day. I have found that if I post in the afternoon, on most platforms it does the best. It gets seen by the most people. But on TikTok, if I post around 5 p.m., that by far does better than any other time. Some platforms, morning posts are better. LinkedIn, it's better to post in the morning. So try out the times of day and days of the week as well. I take Sundays off. I try and do no screens on Sundays, but I also don't schedule out a post to go on Sundays because I found my followers just aren't active then. I'm going to save that post for a time when they are online, not on Sundays. So you can do that too. So now think about you, what you're willing to share with the world, with your readers, and how you can turn that into a post on whatever your chosen platform is. Next, I want to share an editor and author's advice on social media for authors. In my experience, authors either hate the idea of having to do social media or are already so involved with a platform that it's easy for that to suck away all of their writing time. So we need to find some sort of a balance. The hardest part of social media marketing is time management. It's having that author presence online and still completing the next book and all of the other things you have to do as an author. So sometimes taking 5 minutes in the evenings each day to just go through and respond to any comments you might have gotten is all it takes. Then batch your content. Don't create a social media post every day. That's going to take way longer. Instead, set aside some time once a week, once a month to schedule out your posts. Use a software like Later or Hootsuite and literally schedule when your posts are going out. Create them all at once for a couple of weeks. You don't have to think about it. Then just check once a day to see if anyone responded and what you might want to put. When you use a scheduler, it will allow you to be a little bit more spontaneous with your posts too. So if you have a day where you're like, oh, I want to say this, or I want to contribute to this trend that's happening, go ahead and make that still. But don't feel like you have to be creative in that way every day. That's what schedulers are for. And then remember, you're an author, not an influencer. So your goal is not to create some huge following and make money from that. Your goal is to get people to read your books. So on social media, what you want to do is eventually migrate those followers onto your email list because you own your email list and it's a more effective way to market. You need to get people to know, like, and trust you as an author to convince them that your book is the one they should purchase and read. Know, like, and trust is vital in today's society when it comes to where we purchase our products. Social media is a great way to build that. You get to share a little bit of you. People can go and look back at your old posts. They can get a sense of who you are, or at least who you want the world to see as your author persona. So don't be afraid of social media as an author. And don't forget, you can always ask for help. There are plenty of marketing classes and coaches out there who will help you build your presence. You can even hire someone to do it all for you, but that can get a little pricey. So what are you thinking about posting on your social media? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And for more videos on marketing and writing, subscribe to Ignited Ink Writing, a channel dedicated to helping authors like you transform your writing so it lingers with your readers. Because writing that lingers gets remembered and recommended to others. I'm Caitlin Burvey, editor and writer. To find out more about me, go to www.ignitedinkwriting.com. There you will also find that readership building checklist, which will help you identify who your ideal reader is and on what social media platform they might be. I've also linked to it in the show notes. And if you want to see how I interact with my followers, you can find me on Facebook primarily. I'm on Instagram and I'm also on TikTok as an author on TikTok in particular. And now it's your turn to choose 2 primary social media platforms, start building your posting schedule, your ideas, and interacting with your readers to ignite your ink.